If you ever thought of playing the YouTube game, this video should take you from a complete beginner to the point where you already know your niche, what to make videos about, how to make videos so that you stand out from everyone else, and you'll be set up to start playing the YouTube game. I hope it helps. The reason I'm making this video is because I have a YouTube course, and the next logical step, once you know what to make videos about and what to do, is learn how to do it. So my goal with this video is to set you up with a bunch of knowledge so that you know what to do. And if you want, you can go figure out how to do it on your own, or let me help you with the course. So here we go. Let's actually begin with one of the lessons that I originally made for the YouTube course. It's a quick one about limiting beliefs. YouTube just won't work for me. I will waste a lot of money and a lot of time, and nobody will watch my videos. No one will notice my channel. I'm going to make a lot of videos, try my best, but my channel will stay stale. It will not pick up. There's a lack of audience that will like my videos. I don't know how to speak English properly. People will not be interested in my videos. I will be irrelevant. I will not make money. I will get bored and quit. I will quit because it will take too long. My channel will completely fail. No one's going to be interested in the stuff I make. What if you're right? Yeah, you're right. And does that make you feel better? Would you rather be right, or would you rather make shit tons of money from YouTube? You can be right that it will be a waste of time and you'll fail, or you can accept that you're wrong and make a shit ton of money. So pick one. Do you want to be right, or do you want this to work? I thought about all of these things that I just mentioned myself. These were the thoughts that I had before I started my channel, and not even before I started it, during the whole first year. But I didn't want to be right. I didn't want to be right that I was going to quit. I didn't want to be right that I was going to get bored. I wanted it to work, which means I had to prove myself wrong. Other people have already done it, which means I can do it. And it doesn't matter how I feel. If I knew what they knew, if I did the same things that they did, I would be in the same place. It doesn't matter that I thought I was going to fail. It doesn't matter if I thought my channel wouldn't get any views. If I did the right things in the right order and I did them, it wouldn't matter what I thought. I would succeed anyway. So if you want to start a YouTube channel or do anything else and you're telling these things to yourself, you can either choose to be right or you can win. Because all it takes is doing the right things. It doesn't matter how you feel about doing those things. You can feel shitty or you can feel happy. If you do the same exact things, the same steps, you will inevitably win. I don't know, I hope you found that useful. In this next section, I'm going to talk more about the mindset, because without the right mindset, nothing else matters. Without the right foundation, without the right beliefs underneath, nothing else will work, because you'll do everything based on those limiting beliefs, based on false assumptions. So let's get rid of those first. Around 7 or 8 months ago, I made this Notion spreadsheet called the YouTube game. It basically goes over a bunch of things in terms of how to play the YouTube game, like your roadmap, your mindset, tools and the gear you need, and your niche. So I'm going to go over the roadmap, the mindset. I'll skip over the tools and gear. TLDR, you don't really need anything apart from video editing software and your phone. If you're interested in reading this in full, I'll leave the link to it in the description. So step 0 is your roadmap. Essentially what to expect. Step 1, make your first video. This is what this video is about. I'll try to give you everything that I know so that you can start and make your first video. Step 2, get in the habit of creating consistently. Step 3, make your first dollar. Notice how step 3, make your first dollar, is after step 2. You will only make money once you get in the habit of creating consistently. It's usually not the other way around. Step 4, get 50,000 subscribers, aka learn how to make better videos. So here you're just making videos consistently, not knowing what works and what doesn't work. You haven't failed enough times to learn what not to do, and here all your failures, all the times you've been punched in the face, are starting to compound and you're starting to learn what not to do. Step 5, make $10,000 a month. Step 6, financial freedom. I'm currently transitioning from step 4, so 50,000 subscribers, to step 5, make $10,000. And for those of you that are new, this is my channel. I currently have 69.420, hopefully, subscribers. This is the perfect timing I chose to make this video. And I currently have 239 videos published. So I failed many times and learned a bunch of valuable lessons that hopefully I can teach you, and you don't have to fail as much. Anyway, let's start with your mindset, because that's the most important part. YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. It took me 10 months, 350,000 views, and over 100 videos just to get monetized. So just to make the first dollar from YouTube AdSense. That's how YouTube pays you. In order to start earning money from ads that YouTube shows on your videos, you have to reach 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time. Watch time is basically how many hours people have watched your videos. So if you make a 30-minute video and on average everyone watches 50% of it, so 15 minutes, which is pretty decent, then to reach 3,000 watch hours, you'll need to get 12,000 views on this video. So you need 12,000 views on a video that people watch for 15 minutes on average. average. And then you can apply to get paid from YouTube. Anyway, so it took me 10 months and 100 videos just to get monetized. That's why in the roadmap, I put make your first dollar after get in the habit of creating consistently, because that's a lot of videos. I made 183 euros my first year, which is $200. It used to take me around 13 to 18 hours to make 5 minutes of video. That's how inefficient I was. This basically meant that my hourly rate for making YouTube videos for my first year was approximately 15 cents per hour, which is still higher than an hourly wage in Malawi, according to Wikipedia. All of this sounds like putting in a lot of effort for nothing. However, growth on social media is exponential. Growth with most businesses that have leverage is exponential. It looks something like this. The first year you make nothing. The second year you make slightly more. Still not worth it. Year 3 is when things start to look nice. And then the exponential curve explodes. This is just the beginning of an exponential curve. You need to get through it to reach the other end. Building a successful channel takes time, effort, and a lot of trial and error. At first, it feels like an uphill battle, but you have to fail enough times to learn what works and what doesn't. Without failing, there's no winning. Consistency and patience are key to success on YouTube. The thing that I like most about growing a channel as a business, and YouTube is a business, is that it can become a passive income generating machine. Once you publish enough content and your video library grows, the new videos that you make will not necessarily bring in the most views. The whole video library will. Old videos that you made years ago don't disappear on YouTube. As long as they're good, they get recommended to viewers forever. Longevity is the reason why YouTube is the best platform for content creators, at least for now. It's also the second largest search engine in the world, so if you make a video about a topic that people frequently search for, it can get views 3, 5, or even 10 years into the future. It can take 2 hours to make a video, and for 5 years, it can keep working for you every day. Most of my videos get the majority of their views long after they've been published. Here are a few examples. This video is titled 5 Math Help Websites to Give You the Answers. It was completely dead for 126 days, and now, 756 days later, it's still getting 732 views every 48 hours. It's a video I made 2 years ago when I had no clue how to make videos. Here's another example. This video started picking up 139 days later, and something randomly happened 834 days later, and it just did this. This video, which was the most popular video on my channel, was a complete flop for 70 days, and then suddenly it blew up. Or this one started getting views after 121 days. So you can think of your channel as a large wheel. It's very hard to spin the wheel in the beginning, and you have to use a lot of force to get it moving, even just a little bit. But once there's enough force, it slowly but surely starts spinning and rolling on its own. Inertia carries it through, it takes over. Then only a little bit of force is required to keep the wheel spinning. In the beginning, most videos get 2 to 3 views. A few videos, 10, maybe 100 views at most. That's why it's very important to be patient and stick with making videos. The payoff comes later. Imagine if you quit here, or here, or here. You will never see this. Delay gratification. The longer you're patient, the more each video that you put out will spin the wheel, and the more your channel will grow. Then the wheel starts rolling on its own. You only need to push it a little bit, and it starts rolling faster and faster. But you need to fail in order to win. The most important thing to success on YouTube is not the editing software you use, or your camera equipment. It's your mindset. The average channel doesn't go viral overnight. According to TubeBuddy, a Chrome extension that analyzes channels, an average YouTube channel that reaches 1,000 subscribers have published 152 videos. That's a lot of videos. And when they did this research, you needed 1,000 subscribers to start making money from YouTube AdSense. So for 152 videos, an average channel didn't make any money. 152. It's not 2 videos, it's not 5 videos. An average channel fails for 152 times until they start to see results. At the start, you're making videos to learn, not to earn. That's why the beginning is the hardest, but it's worth it. In the beginning, you have no idea what you're doing and no idea why things work or don't work. It might seem like many channels pop out with 100,000 subscribers everywhere, but that's just a small percentage of people. It's the survivorship bias, that you only see people that succeed. This might skew your perception because you don't see the thousands of channels that never make it on the platform. They never fail enough times and learn from those failures to actually succeed. So the qualities you need to be a YouTuber are a long-term mindset. It's necessary not to quit, so you don't quit too soon. Continuous learning, it's necessary to improve, because if you fail and then repeat the same mistake, you haven't learned. You need to fail, then look at that failure and say, oh, that doesn't work. Let's try something else. And finally, adaptability. It's necessary to adapt and grow because the platform continues to change. People get better at making videos. So if you stay the same, you're actually getting worse. You need to always get better, at least at the same rate as everyone else, to stay the same. So you need to grow in order to stay the same. And you need to outgrow everyone in order to get ahead of them. That's why in the beginning, you want to fail as much as possible and learn from those failures. If you fail twice or 3 times, someone who failed 500 times will know so many more things that don't work, and they'll be light years ahead of you. If you've been posting videos all this time and you gave up here, look at what you're missing. Here's a quote from Ali Abdaal. If you can publish at least 1 video per week for 2 years, I guarantee your life will change. Take a look at your favorite YouTubers and their old videos, if they're still listed. They most likely were terrible at making their first videos. So was I. In fact, I'm still terrible. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm trying to see what works and what doesn't, and do as many things as I can that work, and stop doing as many things as possible that don't work. It took MKBHD 100 videos to reach 76 subscribers. 100 videos to reach 76 subscribers. Now MKBHD has 18 million subscribers, and they're making $200,000 a month just from YouTube AdSense, not including any other ways like affiliate income, sponsorships, or anything else that they're also making money from. But it took him 100 videos to reach 76 subscribers. That's crazy. To get good faster, take the quantity approach, not the quality approach. If you don't know what works, there's no point spending 50 hours on a video. You're going to be trying to hit a bullseye while you're blindfolded and facing a random direction. Ideally, you want to take the blindfold off and face the target and then try to hit the bullseye. So at first, you want to make a lot of stuff, fail a bunch of times to learn how to take off the blindfold. You will most likely put tons of hours into your first few videos, but the reality is that probably no one is going to watch them. And that's okay. That's the point. The point of your first 50 to 100 videos is to learn and not to earn. Try to improve at least one tiny aspect of each video that you upload. Whether it's learning what an L-cut is, the way you talk to the camera, learn to make your audio sound better, or watch a tutorial on lighting setups before you set out to record a video. Don't expect to have a viral hit within your first 10 videos. You win by playing the game for as long as possible. Short-term wins can feel good, but you're optimizing for long-term success. Expecting one of your first 10 videos to go viral is like stepping out into a ring with a professional boxer having trained for 10 minutes. Needless to say, the odds aren't in your favor, but all this work is worth the wait. Here's what my channel's view graph for long-form videos looks like. I've been making videos for 2.5 years as of making this video, and for half of that time, I saw no results. Over here, it's highlighted in red. Most people would stop after 2 weeks, so probably somewhere here. Maybe 2 months, so probably somewhere here. But the payoff happens a lot later, and it's worth the wait. If you can stick with it long enough, most of the competition is already irrelevant. Most people will give up before they even try. And nowadays, I work the same amount of hours, actually 1 hour per day, and I make a lot more money than I did in the beginning. Infinitely more. That's the power of compounding. Allowing yourself to fail for as long as it takes until it teaches you enough skills that then start compounding over each other. The only way to fail is to quit. To quit too soon. Starting a YouTube channel has almost limitless upside, with the downside being your time. But if right now your time is worth $0 or $5 an hour, eventually the time that you give to your business will outgrow the current value of your time. And the best news is that your time isn't even directly tied to how much money you make. Knowing the right things does. The more wisdom you have, the more things you know of what not to do, that's what relates to results, not the time you put in. And the upside is huge. Learning new skills like video editing and speaking to a microphone, making money while you sleep, aka passive income, learning to edit videos, working from home, new connections. You learn to negotiate with brands that offer sponsorships. You make an impact. You get to brag to your friends that you get to work whenever you want. There's no ceiling to the amount of money you can make. It can be monetized in so many ways, even if you're not monetized through YouTube AdSense. You have the ability to work from anywhere in the world, ability to turn it into a self-sustaining business by outsourcing, and you can start completely for free. The cost, the downside, is it takes time and patience. But right now you've only seen my example. So let's look at some other people's results. Ali Abdaal, for the first 2.5 years, this was the views on his channel. And after 2.5 years, these were the views he was getting. Over this time period, he's made over $1 million from his channel. Remember the picture from before? This one here. So for Ali Abdaal, the breaking point was here. It wasn't 1 day, it wasn't 1 week, it wasn't 2 months or 9 months, it was 2.5 years. So you have to reset your expectation of how long it will actually take. Because if you have horrible expectations, you will not win because you will quit too soon. Next, we have Matt Does Fitness. He made $1,400 in his first 2 years, but in 2021, he's making $250,000 per year, which means that in 3 days, he's making the same amount as it took him to make in the first 2 years. All big creators start out small. They upload, and upload one more time, times that by 10 until they begin to see results like this. Now, a lot of people also say that it's just luck, and luck definitely plays a big part, but it's not the only success factor. Here's another quote from Ali Abdaal. Success equals work times luck times unfair advantages. Moreover, you can influence luck. The more stuff you put out there, the more you increase the surface area for luck to strike. If you've made 0 videos, then even if luck strikes, there's not going to be anything for it to hit. So if you do nothing, your chances of getting lucky are 0, because when luck strikes, it has nothing to hit. Okay, that's the mindset. What my goal with this section was to reset your expectations of how much work it actually takes. It's a lot more, and not 2 or 3 times more. It's 20, 50 times more, but it's 1,000 times less work than being in a job that you hate for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. What most people do is they do 3% of the work that's required and make 2 videos and say, oh, it didn't work for me. No shit. You didn't even come close to even trying. Okay, on to the next section, which is the niche. If you've watched this far, you're probably pretty serious about starting a YouTube channel and growing an audience. And the first problem that you're going to run into is, what do I even make videos about? So next, let's sort this out. How to pick a niche. Don't be afraid to pick the wrong niche. Pick something. That way you'll start making videos and learning instead of being paralyzed by analysis. Once again, you're making your first 100 videos to learn and not to earn. The sooner you start creating content, the sooner you'll get rid of the flat part in the exponential curve. Pick one niche and experiment with it for 10 videos. It's a lot easier to commit to something when you look at it as an experiment. Experiment with one topic for the first 10 videos. That way you don't marry your niche. You're just seeing if it works or doesn't. And 10 to 30 videos is a good amount to aim for. With 1 to 5, you can't really be sure. Make the types of videos that you would love to see on your YouTube homepage. If you're making a video that you yourself wouldn't watch, don't make it. Be known for one thing. By trying to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. You can focus on one person. If you think about large businesses, they're usually known for one thing. Be known as the Notion guy, the girl who makes laptop reviews, the guy that makes documentaries about Europe, the guy who does GeoGuessr speedruns, etc. Once your channel becomes large enough and your audience becomes more interested in you rather than the things you're talking about in your videos, that's when you can broaden your niche. Here's a random tweet. Specialize when starting out. When Lululemon first came out, they only made yoga pants. They mastered yoga pants, which gave them credibility. They then expanded to other clothing options. Now they're about to enter the footwear space. Narrow focus first, then expand later on. Your niche can change over time. Once you've experimented, you can pivot your niche as long as it's not a sharp 90-degree turn. Most big YouTubers usually create very different content from when they started out. You too don't have to marry your niche. It can morph and change over time. Lean into your unfair advantages. Here's that quote again. Success equals work times luck times unfair advantages. You can't control your luck, but you can definitely control the amount of work you put in, aka the amount of videos you make, and your unfair advantages, aka what you choose to make videos about. When choosing your niche, think about what are your unfair advantages. Unfair advantages are something that you have that other people don't. Maybe it's a hobby, a skill, knowing a language, or anything else that sets you apart from the average person. It might not seem special to you, but if literally everyone on the planet doesn't have the thing that you have, it's an unfair advantage. What do you think you're in the top 0.1% of the world at? Immediate answer for most people is I suck at everything. So what if you don't have anything that you're good at? 1, that's most likely not true. 2, if it's true, then learn new skills. Follow your curiosity. Try things that feel exciting. Then simply share what you learn. The biggest barrier to learning new skills isn't intellectual. It's emotional. We just don't like feeling stupid, and that's how starting to learn a new skill makes us feel. So just suck it up and do it for 20 hours. Most skills can be learned to a reasonable degree with about 20 hours of focused effort. The problem is that most people will take years to start the first hour. Alex Hormozi. Also, being better than 99% of people still means that there are 8 million people better than you at that thing. 8 billion times 0.01 equals 8 million. So even if you know a little bit about a particular field, chances are 99% of people in the world know nothing about it. Also, talking about a topic that you like and you're just interested in is also an an unfair advantage. The person passionate about what he or she is doing will outwork and outlast the guy motivated solely on making money. Reid Hoffman. If you still haven't figured out the topic for your first 10 videos, write down 10 things you think you're better at than 99% of people. Remember, if you're better than 99% of people, there's still 8 million people that are better than you at that thing. So there are many things you're better at than 99% of people. Write down 10 things you can't stop talking about, whether it's to your friends, your family, or someone else. Write down 10 things you would like to learn more about, and write down all 10. 3 to 5 is easy. Stop the video right now and do this. Trust me. Open up Notepad or get a piece of paper and write these down. You've got this far, which means you're serious about doing this. So do this. And the reason you want to write down all 10 is because after you exhausted all the easy options, that's when you find the real gems. Keep writing until you get to 10. You've watched this far, which means that you need to commit if you want to make YouTube work. Don't let lack of effort be the reason you fail. Open a notepad and write it down. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to stop the video and do this now. Okay, have you done it? Option A, yes. Awesome. Continue with the video. Option B, no. Then quit. Just quit. If you can't sit down and write 30 things, you're never going to allow yourself to fail the amount of times that is required to make this work. If you didn't even write this down now, how will you put hundreds of hours into something without seeing visible results and not quit? So if you think this is a waste of time, then quit. Okay, let's continue. Once you've done that, pick one. If there are too many options and you can't choose, go to random.org and roll a random number between 1 and 30. Then go make those 10 videos. You can stop watching this now until you've made those first 10 videos. You'll learn so much more by doing than by listening to other people's advice. If you've watched this far, then you know everything you need to know and you're serious about it. So go and do it. Start now and never quit. It always takes longer than you expect, but the journey there is worth it. Now here I went over of how to pick your niche, but once you do that, once you decide on a topic for your first 10 videos, how do you then make videos that people want to watch in your niche? What do you do? And that's what this next section is about. If you already picked your niche and you know what you could be making videos about, how do you then stand out in your niche? How do you stop making videos like everyone else? If you're going to try to copy someone, then that person already knows how to be them a lot better than you know how to be them. So they're going to completely destroy you. What you want to do instead of copying everyone else in your niche is to do something completely opposite, to stand out. If someone has great video quality, maybe have bad video quality on purpose. If someone makes 10-minute videos, make 50-minute videos or 30-second videos. If you do what everyone else does, you'll just be a cheaper copy of someone else. So let's do this in practice. This is an exercise that I got from Andrew Kirby. Full credit to him. He has an amazing YouTube channel, all centered around business and productivity. I highly recommend checking it out. So the exercise, it's called the Blue Ocean Strategy. Well, this is actually from a book called the Blue Ocean Strategy that I read quite a while ago. And so what I'm going to do is pick a random niche. Now my channel is primarily centered around tech videos and a little bit of self-improvement. So I'm going to pick the tech niche. This is just an example and you can do this with any other niche. Next, I'll open up my browser and go into YouTube to explore that niche. Now, if you already have an existing YouTube channel, you can go into your YouTube studio, studio.youtube.com, and then inside of analytics, you'll find your audience tab. This is where YouTube will show what channels your audience watches. So you can do this with these channels. But let's pretend I don't already have a channel. So since I picked the tech niche, I'm going to look for a tech YouTube channel. The first one that comes to mind is Linus Tech Tips. Ideally, you want this to be a channel that you've watched previously or at least seen a few videos. So let's say Linus Tech Tips is my competitor. The first thing I'm going to do is go over into videos and I want to find the top performing videos over the last year. The reason I want the last year because some videos are 6 years old and a lot of things can change over a period of 5 or more years. So I'm only looking for videos that were popular for Linus Tech Tips over the last year. What I'm going to do is hit Command F or Control F if you're on Windows and type in months ago. This will highlight the words months ago if it finds them. And then I'm going to scroll down so it loads more videos. If I come back here and click enter, it found 9 videos that were uploaded some months ago. So it's this one, only 2 people in the world have this TV. It's about a TV. Then the next one is what do we do now? Probably a controversy video. And essentially what I want to do is watch top 5 best performing videos over the last year. Just observing in general what they are about, what things I like about them or what I don't like about them. And once you get to know your competitors' most popular videos over the last year, we can start doing the blue ocean exercise. So essentially a blue ocean is an ocean that's full of fish. Think of fish as your viewers, but that doesn't have any sharks. Think of sharks as large channels, like Linus Tech Tips is a massive shark. And so if there are two oceans, one is a blue ocean filled with only delicious fish that you can eat, and the other one also filled with fish, but it's also infested by sharks. So if you're a shark, you would rather go to the blue ocean than to the red ocean, where there's already a lot of competition and a lot of sharks fighting for the same fish. And to find your blue ocean, you have to stand out. You have to find your fish, which means that you want to stand out in your niche so much that the competition becomes irrelevant. You create a monopoly. You're one out of one. You're not competing with anyone because of how unique you are. If you try to copy someone else, then you're naturally going to compete with them. But if you do something so drastically different, you're not even comparable. You're going to end up in your unique bubble, in your own niche, in your own blue ocean, and no one will be able to compete with you. So let's go into a website called Excalidraw. You can go there as well, or you can do this in Paint or any other program, or just on a piece of paper. I'm going to draw two lines like this, and this is essentially going to be a graph. The vertical axis is going to go from 0 all the way up to 10, and I'm going to rate my competitor, which in this example is Linus Tech Tips, in a bunch of categories. Those categories can be whatever you want. Let's do video length, let's do humor, production quality, and essentially what I'm going to do is rank Linus Tech Tips, my competitor in this example, against my own channel in these different categories. Then telling stories, then do they focus on trends? Are the videos fast-paced? Do they provide insights? In other words, do they make more informational content or insightful content where they talk about their own experiences? Then let's do budget. Do they make videos that require a large budget? Do they have an overlap with another niche? So are they combining two different things to make their own niche? What kind of format are they using? This one is going to be quite hard to rank from 1 to 10, but I'm going to rank the difference. So how different is their format from the format that I use? Are they authentic in their videos? What's the range of topics that they cover? Do they go in depth on those topics? So let's first rank Linus Tech Tips on this chart. For video length, most videos are usually 17 to 25 minutes long. So I'm going to put it somewhere like a 7. Do they use a lot of humor? Yes. Linus is pretty funny. I'm going to put it at 7. Do they have a great production quality? Yes. They have a whole studio set up with a bunch of cameras and a bunch of video editors. Do they tell stories in their videos? Probably not, or not that I remember. So I'm putting this at 2 or a 1. Do they focus on trends? Yes, they heavily focus on trends. They cover every new technology that comes out. Or the video is fast-paced. I'm going to put this somewhere in the middle. I would say like a 5. Do they provide insights? Providing insights basically means not just talking about some sort of information, but also giving some context of why that information matters. They do a lot of research in their videos, so I'm going to put this at an 8 or even a 9. Do they have a large budget? Yes. Do they overlap with another niche? I would say no. They mostly cover tech-related videos. Does their format differ significantly from my format? I mostly do screen recording-based videos, so yes, they rarely do those. So I'm going to put Linus Tech Tips at 10 and later myself at 0. Are they authentic? I would say 7. Are the range of topics that they cover really wide? I think yes, they cover quite a wide range of topics, so I'm going to put this at 8. Do they go in depth on those topics? On some topics, they do go in depth, but I think they try to appeal to a wide audience, and that's why sometimes they don't go super in depth. So I'm going to put this at probably a 5 or a 4. Next, I'm going to connect all of these dots, which will give us the value curve of Linus Tech Tips. This is how it looks like. So let's do the exact same thing for the videos I make. I'm going to choose a different fill color for the circles and draw those as well. I make slightly shorter videos, so I'm going to put me at 5. I try to include some humor. I don't have great production quality, which is nice because it makes me stand out. I try to tell stories, but I don't think I do them enough. Do I focus on trends? Absolutely not. Are my videos fast-paced? I would say yes, but not at level 10. Do I provide insights? I would also say yes. Do I have a large budget? If $0 is a large budget, then yes. Does my channel overlap with another niche? This is where I would say yes, because I also make self-improvement videos and videos about how to make YouTube videos or how to grow a YouTube channel, and sometimes completely random things that interest me. Again, the format is mostly screen share or doing something on a computer. Am I authentic? I would say the same as Linus Tech Tips, maybe a little more, but this is very subjective. Of course, course, everything here is subjective. I think I cover pretty much the same range of topics, just different ones, and I would like to think that I go slightly more in depth, so like a 6. So now let's see how this curve looks like for my channel. As you can see, it's slightly different in a few categories. I have a very low production quality compared to Linus Tech Tips. I tell slightly more stories. I don't focus on trends as much. I don't have a large budget. My channel overlaps with another niche, and I use a different format. Now this is where it gets interesting. All of these things here is where I can either stay the same or do something else to stand out more. I can double down on something. I can see that my competitor doesn't tell as many stories in their videos. So this is an opportunity that I can capitalize on. I can try to tell more stories. If their production quality is super high, I can get mine down even lower to stand out even more. If their video length is 20 minutes, I can either increase my video length to something like 50 minutes or 60 minutes, or decrease my video length to something like 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Now I can see this visually and decide on what I want to change. Now obviously there are some things that you wouldn't want to change. It's probably not a good idea not to focus on trends, and it's probably not the best idea to make everything super fast paced. But there are a few things that I can learn from this. So here's what I learned by looking at this graph. Things I can do to stand out. I can increase my video length to 40 plus minutes or decrease my video length to 3 to 5 minutes. This will immediately make me stand out. I can do a lot more jokes and more humor. I cannot worry about my production quality at all. That already makes me stand out. I can incorporate storytelling in my videos to stand out. I can make my videos a lot more fast-paced or very slow-paced. I can keep overlapping my niche with another niche and double down on it. I can narrow down the range of topics I cover within the niche, or I can go super deep on the topic I'm covering. So by just doing this, I've uncovered a bunch of things that would make me stand out compared to my competitor in this example, Linus Tech Tips. And you don't have to pick only one competitor. I could have picked many more, looked at their top 5 best performing videos over the last year, and then made this graph as some sort of an average. What's the video length for most of them? What's the humor like for most of them? What's the production quality for most of them? Do all of them tell stories or just a few tell stories? So you don't only have to look at one channel as your competitor. You can look at 5 channels. Find the top 5 videos that performed the best over the last year for all of them, watch those videos, and do this analysis. And these are not some random things like be yourself. These are things that you can do right now, like increase your video length to 40 plus minutes. Just make longer videos with a lot more humor, tell a lot more stories in those videos, make them slightly more fast-paced, and go way deeper into that topic, which would make me stand out in my niche. By doing this, you'll find out exactly what to do to find your blue ocean, to stand out so much that you make your competition irrelevant. And you don't have to do all of these things to stand out. You can double down and go hard on only one of them. Just completely dominate one of these categories, and that will already make you stand out. You don't have to do all of this. Just pick one and double down so hard that no one else can do it like you. Also, this is what I learned by doing this with my own channel and analyzing the average of the top 5 most popular channels that my audience likes to watch. So good ways to stand out for me is to have lower production quality, weirdly enough, do fast-paced videos, do either super long 40 plus minute or super short 3 to 5 minute videos, which is also interesting because I've been making videos in the middle of this range. Then do more jokes and add more humor and tell a lot more stories. So these are the things that I can do right now to immediately stand out among the other channels that my audience likes to watch. So this is a super cool exercise that can immediately tell you exactly what to do. Now, once again, if you want to learn how to make videos, you can do exactly that inside my YouTube course. This is my truly all-in-one guide, a step-by-step tutorial of how to get strangers to want to watch your stuff. It includes lessons on overcoming the fear of getting started, the types of videos you can make, how to find your niche, tell stories, create titles. There's a checklist. I also go over all the gear that you need depending on the types of videos you want to make. So whether you want to make videos without showing your face, like me, or you want to record yourself, you'll find everything you need to know inside the course. On top of that, I made it more like a resource that you can come back to anytime without having to remember all the things. For example, once you learn how to edit videos fast, you don't have to memorize all the keyboard shortcuts. They're all listed inside one single lesson that you can easily look up. And there's also a 100% 14-day money-back guarantee if you bought the course, but for any reason decided that it's not for you. So if you want to give this YouTube thing a shot and maximize your odds of success, you can sign up over in the link in the description. I hope this video was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.